Welcome back to the show. This time we're going to take a look at Ninja Gaiden Shadow for the Game Boy. But first a little history. Ninja Gaiden Shadow, or Shadow Warriors for our European viewers, is sort of a weird hybrid of two NES games. The first of course is Ninja Gaiden, and the second is Shadow of the Ninja. In fact, it's not really a Ninja Gaiden game at all. Tecmo bought the publishing rights from Natsume for their nearly completed port of Shadow of the Ninja for the Game Boy, and they added a few very minor Ninja Gaiden elements and then shipped it. The game was even shown in the September '91 issue of Nintendo Power as Shadow of the Ninja, just 3 months before it was shipped to stores. As such, the game plays much more like Shadow of the Ninja than its namesake. Okay, so now with its confusing name and pedigree out of the way, let's move on to see if the game is actually fun to play. It starts off with either a badly translated or just badly written animated cutscene that sort of shoehorns this game into the established Ninja Gaiden timeline, 3 years before the original game takes place. This is really the only story in the game, and while the pictures are nice, the text not so much, so it's probably best that they kept this to a minimum. Anyway, you play as Ryu Hayabusa on a quest to defeat the evil Emperor Garuda and his band of robotic thugs before they overrun New York City. Graphically, I think the game looks great. The backgrounds are very detailed and even have effects that at times add motion. Ryu and the enemies are well animated, and I especially like the look and movement of some of the bosses. In general, I think the overall look is really good, especially for a relatively early Game Boy title. The controls in the game are also excellent. There may not be as much variety in terms of sub-weapons as you're used to, and there is no wall jumping, which takes away a bit of the Ninja Gaiden feel, but what it does have, it does well, and I think it captures the feel of being a quick and nimble ninja quite nicely. The enemies are all pattern-based, as are the bosses, but the way that they're laid out makes the game fun, and the levels flow pretty well. However, if you're expecting the super difficulty of the NES Ninja Gaiden games, then look elsewhere. This game is something different entirely. If you have any sort of experience with action platformers, I think you could probably beat the 5 stages of this game in just over an hour on your very first try, which is probably a good thing since it offers no save or password functionality. But let's jump back a second to those bosses. I found them to be the best part of the game. They follow fairly predictable patterns like Mega Man style bosses do, but they seem to strike a good balance where they don't catch you with cheap shots, but they're not too easy either. Once you learn the pattern, you could potentially beat them without getting hit if your reflexes were fast enough, and I like that. To me, those are the best sort of boss fights. The music in the game is a strange mix of tracks from both games it pulls inspiration from, which is fine since I like both of those games, and Shadow of the Ninja was clearly inspired by Ninja Gaiden in the first place. So the two mesh together well here with no real drop-off in quality from the move to the Game Boy. Overall, I think this is a fun game. It's sort of on the short side, and I think it would have been better served with a different name so it didn't have all the baggage of not really being anything like its NES counterpart, but at the same time I found it fun to play, and the boss fights got pretty tense at times as I struggled to learn their patterns quickly. It's a good game that takes elements from two arguably better games, however, I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I could see myself playing through it again sometime just for fun, which I think is one of the best tests for how much I like a game, especially if it has a short playtime. So I say leave your preconceptions at the door and give this fun little ninja game a shot. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Video Game Takeout.